Hello, hello. Welcome to Radiant Rituals. This is going to be a self-care series that myself, Natalia Edelmann, and Sophia Ha, we are going to run this together for this month. So let me just wait for her to come on. But September is all about Body 360. We've got 3 layers. Externally, it's about movement, moving your body. Internally, it's about, are you listening to your body? Like, your body's your greatest laboratory. And energetically, symbolically, it's all about alignment. So the title of this episode, let me just see. Here she is. Let me just bring even after you've rested. So I'm just bringing Sophia on. So, hi, darling.
Hello, gorgeous.
I'm just filling everyone in about it being September, and we're focusing on Body 360. And you and I are hosting this fabulous series this month, Radiant Rituals. It's all about self-care. And I think for anyone listening, I want to just ask you a question as we get into this. Have you ever felt like you needed a total reset? Like, put it in the comments because I've been hearing this a lot in my circles, and Sophia, I think you have too, and we'll get into that. But
Nonstop.
it's, oh my gosh, it brings me back to when I was in my corporate days back in 2017, and my body was like screaming at me. It was hips constantly hurting, lots of headaches, just in and out of the chiropractor. Like, it was, not that I'm saying chiropractors are needed at times, but that's a different episode. Um, but it's like, it's more than feeling this need, like you need a nap or you need a vacation. Like, you really feel like you just need a timeout and just a total, total reset. You know what I mean? And Sophie, I know that you've had quite a journey to get to where you are right now. Why don't you? People hear from me all the time, so I want them to hear from you because we're doing this retreat in May,
Yeah.
and it's the September Body 360. So talk to me as Canada's leading face yoga expert. Tell me your story, darling.
Yeah, so I've been practicing now face yoga for more than a decade. And when I first found face yoga, we're talking about burnout. I was 28 years old, this is 12 years later now, right? 28 years old, already burnt out. I was working a job in marketing, exhausted, and there was a lot of personal stuff going on as well. So long story short, I actually took myself to Southeast Asia and I permitted myself it was just over a year and a half of complete solo travel. I know, which for most people, like, I know it's a privilege. Most people wouldn't even dare do that, especially with their careers. Like, they wouldn't do something like that. But for me, it really was a case of, I'm gonna do this or I'm not gonna be able to hang in much longer.
Yeah, and
No, it was just a constant state of chronic stress, constant fight or flight, constant exhaustion. It didn't matter how much I was sleeping. I was just wired 24/7. So, long story short, when I found face yoga again 12 years ago, which is kind of insane to me when I actually say the years out loud, I'm like, yep, I'm turning 40. Amazing. Um, but yeah, when I first found face yoga, it really did start out as an aesthetic thing. But very, very quickly, it became a real ritual for me to step into my own real self care. And it became essentially a radical act of self love. So, long story short, yeah, the exhaustion is something that my clients deal with. I'm constantly hearing it. I mean, my clients, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're constantly serving other people. And no matter how much actual sleep they're getting, they're just basically running on low gas or no gas at this point. And what this does to the nervous system is it just essentially wreaks absolute havoc. And then you're in a state where even if you're really loving the work that you do, you're kind of just having to trudge through every single day. And it doesn't feel good, right? It affects your your general well-being, your mental health, but also your relationships, you know, the way you see yourself, and you're essentially your entire perspective on life.
Yeah, and this is Wellness 360, everybody. Like these, it usually happens with one of the elements that are just really, I'm going to say imbalanced or not as high vibrational. Like it doesn't feel good. Whether that's if we're talking about the body, like hip pain, fatigue, stress, like anxiety, all of these clues that your body is giving you, like you are in constant fight or flight, or you are, those were such great examples. And I totally resonate with everything that you said. It's
We
like,
all do.
yep.
That's the thing,
I was like,
especially as
yep.
women, right? Especially as women, we take so much on. And I just want to, I love the Wellness 360 thing because, and especially when it comes to the body element, even though people are often doing what they think is right, right? So like they're eating the right things, they're working out. What we don't realize is that stress is literally stored in our body, right?
Yeah.
It's stored in our fascia. It's stored in our nervous system. Our nervous system, your actual nerves live in your fascia. So when you're like this all day and you do, let's say 10 minutes of yoga, but the majority of the day you're up like this, your shoulders are up, your jaw's clenched.
Yeah.
You are constantly in this cyclical circle. And when we talk about the body, that brain body connection is so significant, right? So even when we're attempting to rest or attempting to do, all the physical things, that we feel that we should do for self-care, ultimately what happens is we end up burning ourselves out further because we're not
Yeah.
recognizing that intrinsic connection between the brain and the body.
Yeah. And so, like, this is how Reset and Renew really came to be, right? Because I mean, I do retreats. You guys know, if you haven't, my journey has been similar to Sophia's, and that I reached a point in my career, it was like this now, it felt like this now or never moment. And I describe it as like that eat, pray, love moment, if you guys have seen the movie. And I just went retreat hopping, and that's when I learned this Wellness 360 framework through a certification that I was doing, not for business, like, but it just ended up being that way. But the whole, in speaking with so many people in my circle, in my networks, it all comes back to this. There's usually like a life transition, there's a moment, maybe there's a loss, and it just suddenly feels like, you know what, I'm done. Like I just need a timeout. And so when we teamed up to do Reset and Renew, and we were looking at, you know, it's not even like educating about the fascia, or like it's really this like beautiful coming together of really deep work, isn't it? And I say
I
that, and I hope people don't, misconstrue that. Like dive into a little bit, because I know we're doing lymph, we're working with fascia. These are all chances to release, right? Release all this
Mhm.
built up stress.
Yeah. So essentially the work that we're doing, and I'm like so excited. I'm literally counting down the days to the retreat. I'm ready to leave Toronto. But seriously, the work that we're doing is essentially embodiment work. It is embodiment work. It is about releasing tension, years of stuck emotion, trauma. We're going to be doing somatic work. So for those of you that don't know essentially what somatic work, in layman's terms, we can get into it a little bit more deeply another time. We're essentially talking about body work. We're essentially talking about that body-brain connection and looking how things like stress and trauma essentially show up. They store in our bodies, particularly our faces, and we are essentially going to be releasing them. So when it comes specifically to stress, especially chronic stress, we see this in the development of jaw tension, which pretty much everybody has these days. It's kind of crazy. The fascial work that we do, as I mentioned, your fascia quite literally is holding your nerve. So when we're doing this fascial release work, we're not only lifting the face and yes, making you look beautiful and radiant. All of those things are symptoms. But what we're really doing is we're quite literally releasing years of stuck emotion and essentially helping you to move back into a space where you can reconnect with yourself through these very, very, very simple and somatic rituals for your face, for you to essentially practice self-care and self-love, and seriously love on yourself hard. Like, that is what this retreat is all about. We just loving on ourselves. That's the whole thing. That's all we're doing. And I also want to just say, it's, the way that Nat and I have planned it out, I'm always one that likes to keep things simple whilst also thorough. And so we've really put a lot of effort into every day planning out each detail to make sure that everybody that joins us is not just having the education that's going to inform they're actually having the space to just relax and let that info kind of just sink in. So what we're doing is yeah, really, really powerful. And I have to say, just from my own personal experience of this work, a lot of people know me as you said, Canada's leading face yoga expert, the founder of the Holistic Facelift. But essentially what I'm doing is just helping women to reconnect back to themselves through these rituals and essentially embark on this radical act of self-love.
Oh, I'm getting super excited. If you guys missed it, we're doing this in Spain, May 18th to the 23rd, and we're doing this Radiant Rituals live series so that you can get to know us, you can get to ask questions, you can get to look at Sophia's work, you can kind of look at my work. If you're new to my world, to our worlds, and yeah, I mean it's gonna be in this gorgeous location. And if you want to know the location, just reach out. I'm not going to share a link or anything. Just reach out personally. And we've been reaching out to people who we think that are going to love it. But this series was really created with the intention of giving you some radiant rituals as well, and really looking at the body 360 and infusing Sophia's brilliance, infusing all the teachings from Body 360 in a live series. So
Hmm.
join us. We will be live. I'm getting married. I can't even believe it. It's Sophia's birthday coming up. Sophia, when's your birthday again?
It's it's. I was like, when is it? I'm like, when is my
I'm like,
birthday?
is
It's
it
on
October?
Saturday. I'm turning 40. Woo! So exciting.
Exciting. Give
Oh, and you
Sophia
know
some
what?
birthday love.
I'm so sad that I'm not gonna make your wedding, but aside, we're gonna celebrate anyways at the retreat. But also, what I wanted to say is part of the reason that we're not sharing the link publicly is because of the fact that we're only inviting 10 people. Like, this is a
Yeah.
really exclusive experience, and we want specifically people that are really ready to kind of step into that state for themselves. We're not putting extra work, but we want to know that you are there to kind of just take a moment for yourself, right? So that's part of the reason that, we want you to DM us as opposed to just, looking for a link so that we can actually share it with you. And yeah.
Yes. And go follow Sophia. I'll put her Instagram handle below because she's been on breakfast television. I mean, she's been featured in so many amazing places, and I can't wait to share her with you, I should say. So we're back next week. We'll let you know on a date. I'll keep you guys informed. But if guys have any questions about what we chatted today, if you want to hear more about the retreat, just put it in the comments below and share this with anyone who you think might want to come. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, Sophia.
Can't wait. See you soon. Mwah, mwah.